Okay, we're coming.
Okay.
Getting character. Rebecca McElroy.
Well, hello, Dr. Bob Duke.
And this is Art Blackman.
And hello, Dr. Art Blackman.
Rebecca, the pleasure is all.
Pleasure as always, sir.
And this is Two Guys in Your Head Out of Control.
And we have 2 minutes to discuss how our brains process time.
Wow, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
1 1,000. 2 1,000.
Well, we should probably start by saying we're probably not very good judges of how much time is passing, are we, Art?
No, that explains why we think these 2-minute episodes
Or actually
contain
a half
lot-
hour, right?
That's right. Exactly. They told us it was a half hour.
I know.
But so one of the things about time is time can really drag on when you're forced to pay attention to the amount of time that you're spending,
Right.
which is why, you sit in a waiting room and, tick, 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 because you're aware of that passage of time. But that same amount of time engaged in a great conversation feels like it flies by
Exactly.
because you're no longer paying attention to the passage of time. You're paying attention to the interaction you're having.
Right. And those are the things that obviously our brains would have evolved to function as, is that when we're actually doing things like that, where we're engaged in something, we're focusing our attention on things that we're doing or having to do. Well, now time can slip past because we're not really focusing on that. You just said that, didn't you?
I probably did say that.
I said it twice, which will make this seem even slower.
Slower than normal. Now, one of the things about time, though, that an interesting paradox is that those situations where you pay attention to the passage of time, in those situations, you actually, when you look back on them, don't remember much about them because there weren't really any landmarks to pay attention to.
Right,
And
right.
so that long period of time, that period of time that felt like a long time while you were in the waiting room, occupies almost no space in memory. And so it feels like it went very quickly when you look back on it. But that great conversation you had that feels like it flew by, in retrospect, when you look back on it, because it was such a rich interaction, it actually feels like it took a tremendous amount of time.
Exactly. And I think, one of the interesting things that Daniel Kahneman has taught us about is the notion that when we think back to past experiences, we remember the peaks in those experiences and we remember how those experiences ended, right?
Yeah.
And just as to further your point, when you're just thinking about how much time is passing and you're bored in a waiting room, there ain't no peaks, right?
That's
There's
right.
nothing going on there. It's just, you're just waiting for something to happen.
And then in the end, you go into a doctor or dentist. So it's kind of a disaster all the way around.
That's right. There's nothing positive
right.
to say about that.
That's right.
whatsoever.
So even though this show has no peaks, we like to end on a happy note so that people are like, wow, I love that show. You guys are great. How did you do
I
it? It's
know.
all in the editing.
I know. Really? 2 minutes hadn't passed yet? We missed the amount of time.
Hello.
I think Rebecca is having trouble processing the passage of time.
Where I said, let's let him go an extra minute. And mess with him.
But we have that finely honed sense of time.
This is our serious director behind the camera.
Because let's face it, we have about 2 minutes worth of stuff to say.
Exactly. And that's how we know when 2 minutes is happening, because we got no
We're
more
done.
stuff. But
What? Are we done yet?
This was Two Guys on Your Head.
This was Two Guys on Your Head. You can find more information on time, saving, and savoring. That's a quote from my friend Carrie Welch on our website, KUT.org. And you can hear Two Guys on Your Head each Friday morning and afternoon on KUT 90.5. Thank you.
And we're clear.
wow.
That's a wrap